On Monday, June 8, 2008, just before 8 p.m., 17-year-old Tawana Ford left her house with her boyfriend. According to Maywood police, Ford was shot in the head while sitting in the passenger seat in his car at the intersection of 9th Avenue and Washington.
Tawana is a student who I had in elementary school, and so I saw her grow from 3rd grade to her senior year at Proviso East, when she was gunned down in Maywood. I am Milton Patch, principal, Proviso East High School. At that time, we placed a call out to PLCCA, Bishop Porter, to convene a meeting of community members so that we can start to eliminate the cycle of violence in the Maywood community.
Initially, our work was focused on the immediate crisis of youth violence, and particularly in the Proviso area, including Maywood. And we figured we could come together to create a plan that was much more effective than each of us working individually.
I'm Dr. Lena Hatchett with Loyola University, Chicago.
The ministers went out and supported our children going home from school in the streets.
All of the students who attended Proviso East came from different areas, but depending on where the violence took place, it became a problem within the communities. My name is Cheryl Ely. I am a member of the administrative board for the Proviso Action.
Once we got established and was able to initiate some immediate actions, the community police program, which is a safe walk home program where community members were walking kids back and forth to school.
Make sure our kids had safe passage going to and from school at the beginning of the morning as well as at the end of the day.
The kids didn't feel safe walking back and forth to school, so we responded by, we being clergy, got involved, and we manned the corners, provide safe passage. I'm Reverend Dr. Reginald J. Sappho. I'm the Executive Director of the Proviso Township Ministerial Alliance Network.
We evolved from that point to the district coming up with its bus transportation program. Proviso East, which is 100 years old this year, has never had bus transportation, with the exception of 2 years ago. The institution of the bus transportation program, as well as with the ministers out in the streets, offering safe haven for students to go to and from school, increased our student attendance from 80% to 91%.
As a result of that, they're safe and attendance has skyrocketed.
Students now feel that they had an opportunity to come to school, to get to school safe, as well as to get home safe.
The foreclosure awareness and prevention campaign was kicked off in June of 2010. My name is Tyena Shea Sanders, and I'm the project manager for the Proviso Action Committee. Maywood was facing a lot of foreclosures. When people are facing foreclosure, they're feeling guilt, they're feeling shame, and we need to let them know, hey, this is not your fault. There are some of those mortgage brokers who took advantage of a situation. They knew that you couldn't afford this home that they were trying to get you into, and they used marketing techniques to get you to buy these loans. Even though it's not your fault, you have to take action. And so we're really trying to get them over their shame, their embarrassment, and get them to take concrete steps. And one is to gather all of their loan information from their banks, to sit down with all their paperwork, and then to come up with a plan. You have to go to your lender. You can't just leave the envelopes, unopened on your kitchen table. That's not going to help the situation. The situation's only going to get worse if you bury your head in the sand. Even if you are not facing foreclosure yourself, one, you're lucky, and two, it still affects you. And people need to understand that. And also, crime can go up on your block when you have foreclosed homes, because what kids do is when the homes are boarded up, they'll break in and pry the boards off of, and then they're having parties, or drug dealers will set up shop. So don't think just because you were not personally affected by the foreclosure that you're not affected at all, because you are. And people needed to realize that. They needed to be concerned about their neighbors. They needed to be concerned about our community.
People now are not considerate of others or how what I do impact my neighbor. We don't refer to the neighborhood anymore, it's the hood.
We need to get rid of the hoods and create more actual neighborhoods.
When you drop neighbor off, what are you communicating?
I think a lot of things are out of control.
They are values, but they may be skewed.
I have to go back to the home structure. Even in two-parent homes, the parenting practices in the African American community, think we may need to change some things.
You have parents who may have given up on kids because they just can't control them.
We've been infiltrated by the secularism that has tilted the scale, the values scale.
The way that we talk to our youth, the tone that we use to talk to our youth, we need to change some things.
And you've got a school system that has to, any school system in the country, that has to balance student achievement and youth violence.
Youth violence isn't just when youth have other issues or beefs with other youth. It could be a youth having stress on them, and that stress is being projected or carried out in a very negative way.
It's nothing new, what we're communicating. But it's a reminder that if you don't adhere to wholesome values and morals and ethics, this is what you're going to get.
Based on the community's assessment that we've done, that we conducted last year, one of the needs of our youth is for work and meaningful youth activities.
The whole experience was great. I would have never thought that I would actually plant a garden as beautiful as we have today.
I'm the director of the Cook County Green Corps program, which is a job training program for youth 18 to 24.
Do you want to separate the two?
There's some red ones in there. We need to separate the red ones from the green ones.
We prepare them for college and also careers in the green collar sector.
It's been a real good learning experience. They had us make this whole garden up, and you know, we planted everything that was in here, made the beds, you know, put the woodchucks down and all. This is our garden. This is the first time I ever been a part of something like this, you know.
This garden was created out of nothing. It was just a lawn like the rest of this strip.
What if we created a small business entrepreneurial opportunity around garden beds for the Maywood community?
In urban areas like this, it's better to have a raised garden bed because the soil is compacted and there's often rubble buried.
It's hard to come up with ideas that are feasible. We're all volunteers. We have limited funding.
We have drawn on a team of experts to develop the program and to teach the programs.
We got a lot of people in the community that stop by and ask us questions about the garden, and they think that we're approaching a crisis, you know, for just trying to make the community more beautiful.
Out of that tragedy, an initiative was born in Maywood, an initiative that has slowly grown to be accepted and is making a real difference in the community.
We did this. I did the pear in the garden.
I shared in the painting, not the drawing, but the painting.
I did this.
Yeah. I apologize.
The stars right here.
However, as Dr. Sappho explains, no initiative remains sustainable without a plan and a vision.
And I think you have to be smart about what you do. So often some of these groups, they jump up, and I'm not criticizing no particular group, but I think you have to be very smart, analytical about what you're doing and intentional. We reacted to a tragedy, but we had long-term intentions in mind. We understood that a lot of the issues that we experience in the community are systemic. And so therefore, it was important that we had all of the systems that make up a community at the table.
When you build up the capacity of the leadership, then it's easier to plan, it's easier to do more strategic planning, it's easier to do planning that will make an impact.
And in the future, we'd like to model this kind of program in other communities that are underserved.
I ain't never been a part of doing something for the community, and I feel like, you know, you actually will make a difference by doing something like this, planting a garden.